Hi, it's Nikki here from Happy Hormones for Life, and today I am talking about rest. The exactly the 7 types of rest you need to restore and replenish. And actually, this is from a video, a TED talk actually from Dr. Saundra Dalton-Smith a couple of years ago that I've just seen, and I just thought it was really powerful, and I wanted to share it because I'm talking a lot about adrenal fatigue at the moment, and stress and overwhelm and fatigue in general. And with everything that's going on at the moment, our adrenals are taking a bit of a bashing. We absolutely need to prioritize our rest and relaxation. But what does rest mean to you? For me, it's, taking time out, lying on the sofa, watching Netflix, that kind of thing. Sleep is a big part of rest, and maybe a lie in at the weekend, or a spa day once in a blue moon. But according to Dr. Saundra Dalton-Smith, many of us are suffering from what she calls a rest deficit because we don't understand the power of rest. So she says it's the result of a culture of high achieving, high producing, chronically tired, burned out individuals. And if I can certainly relate to that from my perspective. But according to Saundra, sleep alone isn't the only thing we need. It just doesn't cut it. We need other types of rest to feel fully restored. And she talks about physical, mental, social, creative, emotional, spiritual, and sensory rest. So I'm going to go through each of these categories and see, explain a little bit about what they might entail. The first one is physical rest. So your body needs to shut down every night to recharge, and that's what sleep does. It essentially is your main physical rest time, and it's very passive, obviously. And it's when the body repairs, regenerates, and detoxes. So obviously prioritizing sleep is really important. It's one of the things that menopausal women suffer with, sleep deprivation. And so if you're not getting enough sleep during the night, obviously you've got to work on why that's happening, get to the root cause of that. But taking daytime naps can really help. So making sure you're making up that sleep at weekends or during the day, that's fine too. But getting to the root cause of your sleep problems, and I've got a blog on sleeping tips, go and have a look for that if that's an issue for you. Other things in here in this physical rest category would be some more active physical relaxation like restorative yoga, deep breathing, or massage, that kind of thing. Mental rest is number 2, and that's when, your brain is lacking in energy. So it may feel like, you've been hit by a sledgehammer every morning because you're waking up, even though you're getting enough sleep, you're waking up fuzzy, foggy, sluggish, lethargic. Mental fatigue is as real as physical tiredness. It's when your brain lacks energy, so you're going to get foggy, or your focus is going to be lacking, or you can't concentrate for long or make decisions. Memory's bad, you might get anxiety, overwhelm, and mood issues as well. So for mental rest, it's important to disconnect, take breaks from screens or technology, and maybe doing some mindfulness meditation to get you grounded, and that can get you back to the present moment. But mental rest is really important. Number 3 is sensory rest. So we are bombarded every day by noise, light, technology. It's really hard to avoid. So these can really frazzle brain neurotransmitters. So the best thing to do is just unplug every so often. Go and lie in a dark room, or if you can't do that, then take some breaks from your phone and your gadgets. At least, once a week, have a gadget-free week, or if a day a week, if not longer. This is one that I've got to try and build into my routine as well. Number 4 is creative rest. So when you're tired and fatigue is really set in, it's really hard to be creative, especially if you're in a creative job. You can't really just force it. But actually taking a break from that can bring your natural creativity back again. So things like taking a walk in nature without your phone, listening to some music that inspires you, dancing, reading a book, getting inspired by the arts, the beauty of nature or beautiful things around you, can really get your inspiration and creativity back. So number 5 is emotional rest. Now this is particularly important if you're a giver. If you're a teacher, a healer, a social worker, a therapist, a parent, or any kind of profession where you help others, this is incredibly important to get that emotional rest. So, sharing your thoughts and emotions with a loved one or a therapist can be really helpful, and particularly saying no if you're a natural people pleaser. So rather than saying yes to everyone and trying to help everybody, just saying no and filling up your own cup first, really, really important. So go through your diary and just cross out anything that you've said yes to that you really just don't have the energy or will or even want to do. Next type of rest is social rest. So socializing can be exhausting, especially online these days. We're socializing online, aren't we? We're all zoomed out. And especially if you're an introvert as well, it can be very exhausting. Or somebody that everybody relies on. So sometimes you just need some alone time, or you need to spend it with people that really uplift you. So find your tribe, find your cheerleaders, make sure you're ditching the people in your life that drain you. I know that's not always easy if they're in your family, but as much as possible to limit that exposure where you can. Number 7 is spiritual rest. This is the final type of rest that she talks about. And this is where you're maybe feeling a bit disconnected from the world or from your purpose, because that can be incredibly draining as well. So sometimes just reconnecting with our passion, our purpose, or just our love of life is all we need to recalibrate this area. So finding some quiet time to meditate or reflect or pray if you have a religion. Starting a journal can really help. Morning pages is a good start, or talking to someone that's close to you. Volunteering as well for a local cause, or starting your own movement if you want to have a purpose and make a difference. So looking at these 7 types of rest, which one do you need? Working out which type of rest you need is a good place to start. If you're not getting 7 to 9 hours sleep a night, start there. If you're snapping at everyone around you, perhaps it's emotional rest you need to prioritise. If your brain's foggy and you can't think straight, perhaps you're in need of some mental rest. You kind of get the gist. So work out where your rest deficit is, where you're spending most of your energy, and prioritise that area. And I love her final thoughts on this. Dr Saundra says it's time for a rest revolution. I couldn't agree more. I'll see you next time.